this is our lesson already. We are now here in the lesson about eggs. I would like to ask you, Lee. This is just a question, a personal question. Have you experienced having a chicken in your house and the chickens lay eggs? Have you experienced that? That you happen to have a chicken who lays eggs? You don't?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. So my dad before, when I was still young, he used to take care of chickens, and then the chickens lay eggs. So that's why I happen to see eggs. I cook them, and sometimes when we don't cook them, we watch them hatch eggs until they become a chicken. So we'll be talking about eggs right now. Can you please read, Lee?
Some young animals grow and develop inside round objects called eggs. There are different of eggs. The size of egg and the length of time it to hatch depends on the size of the animal that lay it.
Okay. So eggs. Okay. It says here the young animals grow and develop inside around the objects called eggs. So there is a life inside an egg. There is an animal growing inside an egg. And it says here there are different types of eggs. The size of the egg, what? And the length of time it takes to hatch. It depends on what? The size of the egg and the length of time it takes to hatch depends on the
size of the animal.
Okay. So it also matters what is the size of the egg to know the length of time that the animal will lay that egg. That's a good idea. I mean, that's a good, not a good idea. That's a good information. At least we know that it matters on the size of the egg, right? How about the ostrich eggs? Can you please read, Lee?
Ostrich eggs are the largest in the world.
Okay. Ostrich eggs are the largest in the world. Yeah. So for ostrich eggs, do you think it would take time for them to lay eggs because their eggs are big? What do you think?
I think
because it says here that the size of the egg, it matters the length of time. So the bigger the size, then that's also maybe one of the bases for the eggs to lay. If it's really big, if the size of the animal on that egg is a little big, so it would take much time. So we have here bird eggs. Can you please read, Lee?
Bird eggs. Bird eggs are hard and waterproof. They are kept or incubated by one of the parents.
Incubated. Can you say it, Lee? Incubated.
Incubated by one of the parents. Most bird eggs are kept in a nest.
Okay, so bird eggs are hard and waterproof. They are kept warm or incubated by one of the parents. You know, I experienced this. I was able to take care of a bird. So at first, that bird started from an egg for sure. And so I wasn't able to take care of it when the bird is still an egg. But when when the egg already hatched and then it becomes a bird, it's still very small. So I took care of that bird, and yeah, you need to keep it. You need to make sure that it's protected because it will die. So what happened is because it's still very young, it should be with the mother, but I just saw it somewhere. Oh, it really died. So bird eggs are very sensitive. They need to keep warm what I did is during the time in Thailand, I think it's a little bit cold and warm. They need warm, and it was staying in the room, and the room is very darkly, and it I my student told me I need to put some light to keep it warm. I didn't know that it needs to be warm. They need to be kept warm. I didn't know about that, so it died. So especially if it's an egg, still an egg, you need to keep it warm. What else? Warm
or incubated.
yes, you need to keep it warm or incubated. So most bird eggs are kept safe in a nest. That's why they are safer when they are in a nest. But if you happen to see a bird egg and you want to take care of it for it to grow as a bird, then you better take note of this. It needs to be incubated. They need to be kept warm. So like I remember my friend, he had an incubator. Like he made a self-made incubator. He made it by himself using woods, and then he put some lights over there. There's some electricity, something. The eggs were there, so it was very warm. So the eggs are staying there for enough time. Sometimes they sell it to the people, and there are eggs there which was just staying in the incubator. And then later we realized that, oh, there must be something here because we can hear something. We didn't know that the egg is already forming the chicken inside until the chickens. I know it's not a bird, it's a chicken egg, until it went out, and yeah, it's already a chicken. Wow. So they need to be kept incubated, even any other eggs that you want to take care. So how many days will it take for an ostrich chick to be ready to hatch, Lee?
It takes 42 days for an ostrich chick to be ready to hatch.
Yeah, so I told you, right? And as what the lesson talks about, it matters also on the size of the egg or the animal inside the egg. So if it's big, if the size is big, so it would take much time to hatch because it's big, right? So just like an ostrich, because they have big eggs or bigger eggs, it would take how many days?
42 days.
Exactly. It would take 42 days for an ostrich chick to be ready to hatch. Because they have bigger eggs. So we have here egg-laying mammals. Can you please read, Lee?
Egg-laying mammals. Most mammals leave babies. Only one group called monotremes.
Monotrim. Wait,
Monotremes.
let's be really sure. Hold on. Monotremes. Monotremes pronunciation. Mon monotremes. Monotremes.
Monotremes.
Yes, monotremes. Monotremes, rather. Monotremes.
Monotremes.
Yeah, monotremes. Monotremes. Tremes.
Monotremes.
Okay, good.
Lay eggs. The monotreme so here is called an echidna.
Okay. Monotremes. Most mammals give birth to live babies. Only one group called monotremes lay eggs. The monotreme shown here is called an echidna. Okay. So this is a new trivia here. Okay. There's a group called monotremes. They lay eggs and they are what? This is called an echidna. Look at their face. Have you ever seen something like this?
Yes.
Really? Does Vietnam have an animal? You can find an animal like this in Vietnam?
No, I I saw um
Where?
fruit
In?
in Vietnam.
Really?
I saw fruit, not
Ah,
animals.
fruit. You're very funny. Lee. Oh, it looks like a fruit, right? The skin looks like a fruit. Oh, yeah. So monotremes are called as echidna. Let me just search again. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. Echidna. 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 It's not echidna. Echidna. Say it again, Lee. Echidna.
Echidna.
Yes. So echidna, they are egg-laying mammals. So they also produce eggs. Mm. And they give birth to live babies. So it's new to me also. I haven't seen this yet, but yeah, they are egg-laying mammals also. How about tortoise? Do they produce and lay eggs also? Can you please read, Lee?
Turtles. Hat hatchling are male or female, depending on how warm the egg was kept.
Okay, okay, very good. So tortoise hatchlings are male or female, depending on how warm the egg was kept. Oh, really? So tortoise also they are laying eggs, or they are egg laying mammals. Have you have you experienced taking care of a tortoise?
Not yet.
Yeah, me too. But I happened to see from a friend. So he likes tortoise. So male or female depends on how warm the egg was kept. So meaning to say, this is a good trivia also. If you were able to keep the egg warm, then it may be that they will become a male or this will become a female. It matters on how you take care of the egg, how you make the egg warm. That's a good trivia. So you can choose if you want it to be a male or a female. Depends on how you take care of it, how you keep it warm. There's also what you call dogfish eggs. Oh, it's new to me. Can you read, Lee?
Dogfish eggs look like um, glittery bags, which
Yes.
are called mermaids' purses.
Purses. Okay.
Purses.
So mm, dogfish eggs look like leathery bags, which are sometimes called mermaid's purses. So this is it. Oh, so there are many egg-laying mammals that we really haven't known. So there are lots of them, and one of those are mentioned here in our lesson tonight, just like the dogfish eggs. And they are called as what? Mermaids.
Mermaid purses.
Yes. So we have fish eggs also. If we have dogfish eggs, we have fish eggs also. Can you please read, Lee?
Fish egg. Most fish produce produce lots of eggs and don't look after them, but
Mm,
they do lay the eggs in places like sea grasses to keep them safe.
very good. Okay. So most fish produce lots of eggs and don't look after them. But they do lay the eggs in places like sea grasses to keep them safe. Oh, so fish also they also lay eggs. They also produce eggs, rightly? But the difference of fish is they don't what? They don't.
Or they don't look after. They don't need to look after.
That's true. So among all the egg-laying mammals, fish eggs are the ones who really don't look after them, and you really don't need to look after them because, like just like the tortoise, just like the birds, just like the monotremes, okay, and dogfish eggs, the ostrich eggs, chicken eggs. You need to take care of their egg, right? You need to keep it warm, you need to keep it incubated, you need to take care of it so that it will hatch and grow as an animal. But eggs, they produce, but fish rather, but the fish eggs, they produce eggs, but they don't need to look after them. And the eggs can just grow and can just develop without the need to be taken care of. Do you understand, Lee?
Yes.
Oh, so that's the difference, right? When it comes to fish eggs. But they do lay the eggs in places like where do they lay their eggs? Where do they lay their eggs? In?
They lay the eggs in places like sea grasses.
Very good, perfect. So they don't need to really have a lookout or really look after their eggs, but they need to be sure that the place where they lay their eggs is safe, just like sea grasses. Okay, so they will lay their eggs in the sea grasses and they will just leave them because that sea grasses is already a good place for their eggs to be safe. Okay, that's it. So we have here reptile eggs, like leopard, tortoise, hatchling. We have reptile eggs. Can you please read, Lee?
Reptile eggs. Reptile eggs are soft and leathery.
Mm.
The mother buries them in the ground and leaves them to hatch on their own.
Okay, I will show you some example of reptile eggs. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Example of reptile eggs. What is that? What is this? What do you think it is? Okay, hold on, Lee. Let me. Okay, some example here. Reptile eggs. Okay.
Did you know that reptile eggs actually grow? The difference between these two eggs is about 2 months. So unlike bird eggs that have a hard shell, reptile eggs actually have a soft shell which allows the egg to grow as the animal inside develops. So the smaller egg that you see on the left here was actually just laid about 2 days ago, and the egg on the right here was laid about 2 months ago and is getting close to hatching. I always find it so fascinating to just see how the...
Okay. So the reptile eggs, they just grow and hatch on their own. So there's no need for their mother to hatch on them for them to come out as an animal or to grow because they just grow on their own. They just hatch on their own. So those are reptile eggs. Do you know some example of reptile eggs, Lee?
I think
I'll just show you a picture.
I think the crocodile.
Yes, that's true. Okay, we have here some example snakes. We have here crocodile. Yes, they are example of reptile eggs. Oh, see? So their eggs are just hatching on their own. Lizards' eggs. And there's no need for them to be hatched by their mom. Okay, you see that? So it's like that. And how about amphibian eggs? Can you please read, Lee? Amphibian eggs.
Amphibian eggs. Amphibians such as frogs and toads lay wet eggs in water. When they are ready, the eggs hatch and tadpoles come out.
Okay, so if reptile eggs, just like our crocodile, snake, and some other reptiles that we know, their eggs are just hatching on their own. But in amphibians' egg, their eggs are what? Lay in wa wa. Their eggs are lay in where? Lee? Their
In
eggs.
water.
Yes, their eggs are laying in water. So just like a frog, first it's a tadpole, right? And then after that it becomes an egg. This is very funny. When we were still young, Lee, we're putting the tadpoles on a bottle in a bottle. We find it so cute, Lee. We're saying that because we love tadpoles so much. We think that they are eggs having a tail and they look like a fish. So we put it in a bottle when I was still young, and we were very happy to see it. We're like, oh, we always check in the bottle every day until we decided to set them free. But do you know where did we place them? We placed them in a well, in a deep well. You know what is a well? We placed them there. We poured the tadpoles there in the well, and we were just very surprised because after 5 days, I think, or 3 day, 3 to 5 days, when we checked the well, the tadpoles are not there anymore. We cannot see them, and we were looking. Where are the tadpoles? And then what we see in the in the well were frogs. There were many frogs because there were lots of them. We put them in the bottle and then we pour them in the well. There are many frogs in the well, and my dad was very angry at us because there are many frogs floating in the water because we poured the tadpoles there. We didn't know that the tadpoles, will later turn into a frog because we are just a kid that time. It's very funny. So yeah, that's it. Have you tried when you were still young, Lee, playing a tadpole?
Yes.
Yeah. But when you were still young, do you know that it will become a frog?
It,
Huh? That's so funny. You know, we very yeah, kids like very young, very innocent, don't know anything. So yeah, amphibian eggs are like that. They hatch their eggs, they're produced, they lay their eggs in the water. So next meeting, Lee, we'll be talking about electricity. So you can study in advance about this. I'm sorry, Lee, but it's already time. So we need to end our class. Do you have some questions?
I don't have a question.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lee. I hope you have a good night. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night.
Good night.